What's up, everybody? Just wanted to share a little bit of an update here for this week's video. It's it's not my favorite bit of news to share, but it's the truth. Is what's happening. So, I gotta go back to work this week. I feel like I teed that up like my grandma died. Not the case, thankfully, but yeah, I gotta go back to work. So, fortunately, where I work, I've had 12 weeks off, and then I took an extra week of vacation on top of the 12 weeks of paternity leave. So don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for the time that we've had off, but man, I don't want to go back to work. I've gotten really good at being unemployed, and I'd like to continue to be unemployed, but still be paid the same amount. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty curious just on how, but basically my day is mostly spent doing things around the house, like basically all the chores around the house. I'm the laundry guy, the dishes guy, the cooking guy, the everything in the yard guy, the vacuuming, the cleaning the kitchen. I guess it's pointless to list all these out, but you get the idea. And so the idea is that hopefully Mrs. GP and Princess Power can have everything they need, and they don't have to move around to do too much, to be stressed about anything. I kind of got it all covered. But that that's got to change when I go back to work. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm not like dreading it. Like, thankfully I have a job that I don't hate or anything, but getting paid the same to not work is much nicer. So we're going to have to figure out a way to still get all those chores done, and really the big thing is to make sure that like Mrs. GP feels supported and that Princess Power has everything she needs. So those two things have got to get taken care of, before anything else. And so the real challenge will be to make sure that still stays true, and I can still get everything done on top of that. Now, unfortunately, I know you guys are shocked to find out that streaming is not my full-time job and making YouTube videos, but because they kind of fall in the power rankings, it's going to be a challenge to get everything done. I think I'm just going to have to be really efficient with my time. And I guess I know as part of this video series, I kind of prompted it out of like, look, I'm a new dad with a full-time job. Like, going full-time streamer, content creator is not the goal, but this will be where it's really going to start to get harder, is I guess what I'm really trying to say with this video. So have a little patience, I guess, is maybe what I'm asking for, but it's part of the challenge of like, okay, how do we be a successful dad, a successful husband, a successful employee, because that is what pays the bills to pay for everything streaming related, but also try to create content for you guys. So I'd set the goal out to have 25 of these Getting Good videos by the end of the year. I think we're making pretty good pace right now, but it's going to get harder starting this week, and then 5 weeks later, Mrs. GP goes back to work as well, so that's when it'll get extra hard. We'll have daycare set up, and we'll have, we're taken care of during the day, but it's at night it's gonna get kind of hard. And even with just me going back to work, like not being able to like see baby Power all day is gonna be it's gonna be different. So then I'm gonna want to spend time with her and not necessarily be as excited to come make these videos. Sorry guys. I want to make sure that she's getting everything she needs, and is fully getting like we do like tummy time and all these like developmental things that you're supposed to do with your infant. So trying to make sure that she has all that while we do all this. And it's just unfortunate that like on the content creation side, it's lower on the pecking order, and I prioritize the live streams over making videos, because also the live streams like feed a lot of the video content, so it's where all the shorts come from, that kind of thing. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Yeah, I like I said, I feel I'm glad I'm not dreading it, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that it's gonna be a lot harder to get done. So we'll see how everything goes. It's gonna be a huge shift. I'm gonna be like suck at work for a while, I think, which will mean I'll be less efficient at it, which means it'll take a while. So, and I'm in the middle of this big project. I guess I took a break in the middle of this big project for my leave, but it's gonna be pretty intense now through the rest of probably through about January or February. So we will see how. I guess I could see there being a lot of hours. And so, yeah, I think I've got to be really efficient with my time if I'm going to want to get everything done. So it's like, how do I stay focused, stay off the social media, stay off the YouTube videos, and just like be more efficient with my time? It's something I always try to, I spend a lot of time thinking about, but then the thinking about it, like, is not necessarily productive, and like the thinking about it wastes time too, you know. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to be efficient or whatever. So like, I'm making this up, but it's like, ooh, let me watch this YouTube video. Let me watch this 30-minute YouTube video about how to be more efficient with your time. And it's like, well, I did just burn 30 minutes. And if I don't apply any of the things, I'm sure it's a great YouTube video, but if I don't apply any of those things, it's like, well, what did, you know, I basically, I just lost 30 minutes. So something, you know, part of this series as well, it's like, how do we actually implement things into the stream? And so it's, how do I kind of need to do that with being efficient as well. I keep trying to tell myself I don't need to like revolutionize the way I do everything. I just need to like not be distracted by stuff. That's obviously a lot easier said than done. There's just a bunch of black holes on the internet that are just pure time sucks, and there's some kind of like downtime when you're kind of watching the baby that it's easy to, like, it's hard to start a new task. Like if I'm like holding the baby, or just for, you know, holding the baby for just a second while Mrs. GP is doing something, it's like I can't like go make a YouTube video, but I can scroll on my phone. And so then I give the baby back, because whatever that thing is done 10 minutes later, and then I find myself like still scrolling on my phone. It's like, come on. So honestly, one of the videos in this series may need to be a video about like, all right, I'm actually going to try to like apply some of these strategies so that I can continue to create content. Like, it's a little like adjacent to what I normally do, but it's like, look, I may need to apply some of these strategies to actually like be able to make the content. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna try to just hammer it out, and we'll see how it goes. But I gotta start shutting the distractions down. But for the last couple months, you know, I'm up in the middle of the night with the baby or whatever, I'm like, you know, if I'm scrolling TikTok or whatever, like, who cares? But now it's like, oh shit, like I gotta care, because, you know, that 10 minutes I wasted over there is like 10 minutes I can't spend doing the things I want and need to be able to do. So that's, yeah. So I guess if you guys have any suggestions on anything, either like, I do enjoy like self-help books and videos and that kind of thing. I just don't apply enough. I don't execute a lot of it. I love the like planning and strategy of like, ooh, I found myself being like, ooh, yeah, I should do that, or I should try that. I say that a lot. I don't actually try it, and if I do try it, I'm like, wow, that's kind of hard. It takes a lot of discipline and effort, and so I forget to do it. I forget to do it. It just kind of fades off. So if you guys have any suggestions, anything that works well for you guys, just to like really maximize your day, I'm open to ideas. And I'm curious, I'm interested about that stuff. I like the idea of efficiency. Is just something that it's fun to kind of theorize about, I guess, how to be the most efficient. But at the end of the day, like, I know what I need to do, and I know that I waste a lot of time. So if I can just like axe that, I'll be in a much better spot. So it's a little bit of both, but but leave your ideas, any comments or any video, anything that you guys find helpful. I definitely would give a listen or give a shot to. So, yeah, we'll start chipping away at that a little bit. Actually, we used to have this system, me and Mrs. GP, we had this thing where, we would kind of challenge each other to like do something better. Basically it was, we started tracking, you know, positive things we wanted to do or negative things that we wanted to stay away from, like staying away from desserts, or for me it was sodas, and then like moving towards like reading or learning a language. Like we had positive and negative things, and we would agree like on a rule between us. We didn't always necessarily have to pick the same thing, but like we would always have to agree on what each person was going to work on. So for example, if I like, one of mine was like, I can only have soda 3 times a month, and I can pick my days, I can do whatever, but like that's it. So I figured like if we go to a movie or something, I want to get the Chug Jug 64 ounce, or like let's let it rip, let's do it. That I could do that a couple times a month, but I went from having a soda probably 15 days a month, 15 to 20 days a month, if I'm being honest, I guess, to 3. I was like, that's, working me in the right direction. And, but Mrs. GP had to agree to the 3 times a month. Now she, like, it was really easy for her because she barely drank soda, but, she had to kind of like, I had to get her acknowledgement of that rule. So, and then we added something new every month. So, let's say August here was the soda 3 times a week month. And then September was, I can only have fast food once a month. And it compounded, right? So it wasn't just, for this month. It wasn't Lent, where I'm like, I'm giving this up for a month. It was like, the idea was to kind of like build and grow on things. So honestly, I think we're going to get back to doing that. And it can be that the 3 times is negotiable. Like what you're working on is negotiable. Like for me, it could be, I got to upload this amount of videos, and like Mrs. GP doesn't care about that, but she wants to work on, I don't know, reading more or something. Like we could always, like we don't always have to be working on the same thing, but it's something we used to do. Did it during COVID. I'm trying to remember when we stopped. Actually, I could tell you exactly when we stopped. Wow, I thought that would be harder to like really pull from the depths. It was, ironically, I guess it was when we got engaged. So I remember we had the conversation about like, we had made the exception in the past that if there's a really big event or something, a really big project or thing, that like you could kind of like have that month off or like dedicate that month to something. So I'm trying to think of a good example that we had. Like in December, let's say that we were going to get everyone's Christmas presents by like December 15th. So we weren't going to do like a crazy last minute shopping spree for everyone and like be really behind and people getting their gifts late in January. Like, oh, sorry, Uncle GP was late on this one. So we, something, I don't remember if we actually did this one, but there was, so maybe our kind of thing to work on for that December was order all Christmas presents by December 15th. And like we were going to order Christmas presents anyway, right? Like Christmas is going to happen regardless, but it's like we're kind of trying to set a goal for ourselves to make it easier on ourselves or less stressful, I guess. So we agreed that there were exceptions. Like one time Mrs. GP was traveling for work like a whole month. And so it's like, okay, she got to kind of bend some of the rules, and she was going to be working crazy hours. So it's like, all right, your like thing for this month is like that you were working on this huge thing all month and traveling all month. So like basically you don't have to add another one. Like that is your thing for this month. And I remember we did that. We got engaged, and we were like, hey, what our thing should be is to like plan this wedding. And it's like, oh, such a great idea. And since wedding planning is such a ordeal, I mean, basically, our improvement for each month was like, it was like wedding planning. Like, there's probably a couple in between there we could have taken off, but we probably had 3 or 4 months in a row where like every night that we were free, we were planning something to do at the wedding. And so I think, wow, I thought that would be hard to remember, but that's exactly when that's when it fizzled out, is because it's like oh yeah, our thing this month is the wedding planning. And after like 3 or 4 months in a row of that, it just like kind of became assumed, and then we were actually that busy with the wedding and the honeymoon and all the stuff, like we just kind of we haven't picked it up since then. We moved twice, and so it's that's kind of where it fell off. But it was a really fun thing that we did. We called it Getting Better at Life. So it was just, we both use a really simple like tracking app. So she actually brought it up to me the other day that she would want to kind of get back to doing that, because we did it, especially it was COVID, we had some extra time, but there was probably like 15 to 18 straight months that we did it, and it had some really cool results, honestly. There was a couple categories we had. This is such a tangent. It was like, there's health and fitness ones, there was work ones, there was I had streaming ones, there were like friends, family, relationship type ones. Like, it was just, there were a couple of different like big groups when you think about like, but it makes you think like, what do I want to make sure I consciously do? And so every day you're looking like, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? And it kind of gives you like direction, make sure you kind of stay on track, and you don't just, sometimes I feel like it's easy to kind of go on autopilot, and you just kind of, you go to work or you go to school, and then you do what you need to do for homework or work, then you do your workout, maybe you do you cook dinner, you eat dinner, and it's like, I got like an hour to kill before bed. I'll watch a TV episode and go to bed. And then you like blink and it's been like 2 or 3 months, and it's like, holy shit, I like haven't done anything. So I say all that to say I may need to get back on that train in order to be able to have the free time to be able to create these videos. I know, oh gosh, is it Jocko Willink who does the discipline equals freedom? And like, I think that's kind of some bullshit, but like discipline does give you more free time. So then you can choose that free time you can spend that free time to where you want, which would be things like making this video. So anyway, took a bit of a left turn there, but just want to let you guys know that things may look a little different and maybe a little more tired. We'll see how I do. That's not like I've been sleeping great with the newborn either, but yeah, going back to work this week. But nothing here should really change, and I'm making a lot of this honestly for myself to be like, look, this is what I need to do, and I need to stay focused on this to be able to make sure I can keep providing you guys with this content. And I know this is kind of a bringing you along the journey type of video, and we've had a couple of these as we kind of talk about my background and stuff. So I know this is not like a improving content video specifically, but I think I promise to be open and honest about kind of the journey here, and so this is one of those videos where it's gonna get harder. We've got a step change in difficulty, cranking the difficulty up this week, and then in 5 weeks when Mrs. GP goes back to work. So there could be a couple bumps in the road along the way, but hey, that's part of the process. So anyway, that's about all I have. Still streaming. We switched the streaming schedule to Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Central. If we have something socially on Friday, we'll move it to Saturday. And that Saturday time will depend on when, of course, Georgia Tech football is playing. I doubt they'll have any big night games, or many. So probably Saturday around 8 p.m., but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, yeah, twitch.tv/Georgia Power, where all the live streams are. And yeah, all the juicy links are below. So appreciate the any likes and subscribes always help. But thanks you for following along. Thanks for kind of letting me vent here, team. And let's buckle up, buckle in, and let's get ready to go back to work. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios.
Oh God, it's so mediocre.